Hello and welcome to Walker Tea Review. I'm Jason Walker with a tea that is ready to go. I'm going to go ahead and scoop it out, get it started. So I've got out my spoon, all my tea equipment here, just so that you can kind of see what the tea equipment is. My cup, my gaiwan, my pitcher here, spoon. Tea towel is good, nice to have. Something to, some kind of pad, hot pad or something underneath to catch any spills or drips, or keep protecting the surfaces, table surfaces that may be sensitive to heat. That's good. I put in enough tea here to cover the basic or the bottom inch diameter of my 3-ounce gaiwan. Water's been brought to a light boil. Oh, maybe Chinese terminology, maybe crab eyes, fish eyes, that zone of heat, of boiling. Describing, of course, the little bubbles that develop through the boiling process, closer to the size of eyes of fish eyes or crab eyes. So I'm putting my lid on, a little bit of water. Actually, I want just a pinch more water. Should be resting ever so slightly above the rim of my lid, just like that. That's good. And be able to talk about this tea. This is from Teavivre, which is based in Hong Kong, China. Fujian. Some of their activities are done in Fujian province of China. This is their organic Tianmu. Let me make sure I got it right. Yeah, TianMuMaoFeng. Now, Tianmu is west, approximately 50-60 miles west of Hangzhou. So it's going to be in Zhejiang province. Still associated with Hangzhou City, but much further out to the west of that. You can get a sample of 14 grams for $2. And again, this is from the Tianmu mountain area in Lin'an County, is the region of the county area. Not necessarily classified the same way that counties the word county would be used necessarily in the U.S., for example. Zhejiang province, like I said, Hangzhou City, Zhejiang province of China. Harvest date, which is an important consideration. Generally, people often look for the earlier harvest, earlier in the spring. This one labeled as March. The bag here, the product says March 7th is the harvest date printed on the back. You may look on the product's website and find March 6th as the date. It's also listed again as USDA organic, and the certification is there. Now, you want to check to see if that USDA organic certification is up to date. There may have been some changes that happened between the time of published the review, the time that this tea was sourced. That this tea, the organic status this tea may have been harvested under organic conditions and processed under organic conditions and grown, of course, and then but the certification may have fallen off. The registration of that tea may need to be renewed. So, talking about this tea, looking at the dry leaf, the wet leaf, and the liquor. Starting off here with the dry leaf. First off, one thing you'll note is the nice, strong, sweet aromas coming off of this. This is clover honey and steamed spinach. So it's got that green, earthy honey combination there. So it's nice vegetables green smell. Not off-putting. This is, the more I smell it, it's steamed spinach, lightly steamed spinach. So it's got that green sweetness coming off of it, drizzled with honey. It's just green and sweet. Looking at these leaves, though, let me scoop out a few of those. This is the kind of tea that you could smell all day and enjoy it. Pulling out a few of these leaves, they are deep, dark green, nearly to the point of being, there's almost no yellow to this. This is still a rich, heavy, dark green to it. Long and wiry. Most of these look to be more than an inch in length. These look to be individual leaves. fairly, and again, they would look to be very thin and delicate. So I don't see a lot of stem there, which is good. I see mostly tightly wrapped green leaves, wrapped again along the middle vein of the leaf so that they are long in that sense. I'm going to go ahead now. There should be plenty of time for having allowed this to steep. Angle this lid over to the side and get my pitcher ready here. Shake out those last few drops there. That looks good. Set that to the side for a moment and talk about this wet leaf. Let me give this a shake, kind of loosen those up a little bit. Now, the sweet spinach has moved a little bit, has moved more over towards a beany type of note. There is more of a light, but still light, a fresh, sweet, freshly picked green bean type of smell. Freshly, I should say, freshly picked and then cooked green bean. You can almost, it's almost as if the green beans have been sauteed. There's kind of a little bit of a buttery sweetness there. Again, that's light, not a heavy butter type note, but as if the butter had been used for the saute. Still, mostly that green vegetable sweetness there, green bean vegetable sweetness there. Pulling out a few of these leaves. Let me get the ones that are kind of the pieces that stuck here. You will get leaf portions, but you will also get, let me kind of delicately pull this out. Here's a piece that has some of the stem connected to a very young needle, very small tip or bud there. Let me pull out, shake this off here. What do we have? Another leaf. This one is actually, looks like it could be a set here. Let me just see if I can tease it apart, because I see one larger, more mature leaf. I see a smaller, more yellow-green type of leaf. Now, of course, these leaves, because within the water, they have loosened up and they've lightened up in color so that they are more of a green, a little bit more of a green-blue type color. Okay, I'm teasing these apart ever so gently because, yes, this one is 2 leaves and a very small, delicate bud there, or tip. So that's nice to look at. Stem portion is quite long, actually. So it was clipped or hard plucked further down the stem, or the vein. Yes, the stem from the leaves there. Let me see if I can get out just some kind of individual leaves to represent that as well. I do see some kind of leaf portions here and there. I have a little bit of a ragged leaf, individual leaf there, here. It's going to be too delicate, I'm afraid, to really open it up, unfold it, but that's there. Larger but quite tender leaves. Some of them still moving, like I said, over towards that kind of green yellow, younger looking leaf. So that's a range to consider there. Moving over to the liquor here. I don't see a lot of oxidation, dark blotchy spots. So this one was treated fairly well, fairly consistently. Didn't get bruised or damaged to change the profile from a green to that oxidation moves it closer to an oolong type of character. Colors here, pale, lighter yellows, okay, but still fairly bright, fairly rich looking. And in the cup, again, still looks clean, bright. Give it another shot here. What I'm noticing, aroma profile, flavor profile, light, gentle, not a lot just jumping out at this point. Astringency, middle to light, light to middle in that zone. There's a bit of an astringency going on here. Not bitterness, no. I get if you slurp and kind of swirl again, and as the liquor travels up to your nose, and maybe as this cools off a little bit too, a little bit more of a sweet green bean profile coming out. So this is the tea that you may want to kind of let the temperature cool a little bit before you can appreciate more of the aromas there and the flavors. Light, yeah. As this cools off more, back of my mouth, a little bit more of that sweet spinach comes out. Not as very strong, like I said, that clover honey. You might be able to detect that, may be able to tease out a little bit of that. Again, it seems to be more towards the back of the mouth. Aftertaste drops off fairly quickly, even for a green tea. The texture-wise, it's got some nice texture to it. It's got, like I said, not overly astringent. It has some astringency, which gives it a little bit of a coating type of feel. Actually, I just got a brief kick of that spinachy character picking up a little bit. Let me give this one. I'm actually going to give this one more pour and one more shot. See what else I can draw off of it. I'm expecting aromas to pick up a little bit more. Actually, as I smell in the cup, its aromas are quite low here too. More of the character seems to be transported with the texture in the back, and in the aftertaste, you start to pick up a little bit more of that green bean type of character there. So, looking at this, it had such a strong, sweet, welcome profile in the dry leaf, and yet a lot of that did not get converted into the wet leaf, which indicates a couple of things. Experimenting with this tea, finding the right parameters that you prefer. Look towards steeping this tea for a longer period of time, maybe using warmer water to perhaps draw out more of that character. And then also experiment with letting the tea cool to a slightly lighter, lower temperature to see if that allows some of the gentler notes to become a little bit more prominent too. Visually, this is a visually appealing tea, but again, not a lot happening in the mouth there. So I would have to give this tea an 87. Again, appealing components, not the most outstanding though. So come back to Walker Tea Review to find those teas that are appealing and those that are outstanding.